Let's talk about how much weight I've lost since I started living in the UK, because you guys keep asking about it. Every video lately, there's comments like, "Mate, you look different. Have you lost weight? What happened to you?" So I figured, all right, let's actually sit down and talk about this. My name is Russell. I'm an American who's been living in the UK for about a year now. And since moving here, I have lost 80 pounds, pretty much passively, which I think works out to 5 stone, 10 pounds. Still working on using stone for measurement. And no, I have not been on a diet, no weight loss programs, no personal trainer, no insane gym routine. And honestly, if you think that's unbelievable, I don't blame you, because I still really can't believe it myself. Now, before we get into everything, I want to show you something. I made a video a few weeks ago comparing 2 loaves of bread, one from the UK and one from the US. As a follow-up to that video, I left them both out at room temperature for 2 weeks. This is what the UK bread ended up looking like, and that's what the US bread looked like. UK bread reached the end of its life, moldy, exactly what it should look like. But the US bread looks just like when I bought it. It was even still edible. Yes, for science, I did take a bite out of the 2-week-old room temperature American bread. Nevertheless, the difference between these 2 loaves kind of explains this entire story. Last year, I started staying long-term in the UK so that I could be with my girlfriend who lives here. At the time, I had already spent years trying to lose weight. At my peak, I was 299 pounds, over 21 stone, and I just couldn't bear to see my weight on the scale become 300. So I tried calorie counting, I exercised a lot more than I normally did. I tried eating healthier, but whenever I would lose weight, I would somehow gain it all back. A tale as old as time for anyone who's ever tried to go through their own weight loss journey. It happened every single time I made any progress. I got so frustrated with the cycle, I even got a health counselor at one point to help give me advice and motivate me. But even that didn't work. And eventually I just started believing that there's something inherently wrong with me. Like I lack discipline, or that I was just a lazy person, or maybe it's just how my body is. But the funny thing about losing a bunch of weight is, looking back now, I didn't realize just how unhealthy I actually was. I look at old videos and pictures of myself, and I was just constantly wearing baggy clothes. And while that was part of my style, really, I was just hiding. A couple of years into my weight loss journey, I got diagnosed with severe obstructive sleep apnea. That's basically when you can't breathe while you sleep. It's caused by a number of things, but the number one risk factor is obesity. So basically, I had fattened myself up to the point where I couldn't breathe during the night. And I started having to wear this big old mask that I have to strap to my head, and a hose coming out of it attached to a machine that blows air through my airways while I sleep, so I don't stop breathing and die. Now, why talk about baggy clothes and Betty Bye breathing machines? Because my weight loss story isn't complete without talking about my overall health. What changed for me in the last year I've been living in the UK wasn't just the number on the scale. I feel like I've genuinely aged backwards. I sleep through the night now. I wake up without feeling completely exhausted. Going upstairs doesn't feel like a workout anymore. Breathing is easier. It's even affected my mood and my mental clarity. And the strangest part is, none of this started happening because I decided to get healthy. It started because I began living somewhere else. All right, you know my backstory now. I'm down 80 pounds, so let's talk about what actually changed. Honestly, it came down to 2 things. The first thing was food, and I didn't really even notice it at first. I stopped drinking sugary beverages all the time. Not because I banned them, and not because they're not available here, they most certainly are. They just weren't automatically part of every meal anymore. In America, you can get endless refills pretty much everywhere you go. Sugar is also everywhere. And American food often has added sugar in it, even if you don't think that that food would have added sugar in it. Think like bread and sauces and dressings and juice. Even food that is marked as healthy has a ton of added sugar in it all of the time. When all of that disappeared from my life, I noticed that something changed, and that's the amount of inflammation that my body was undergoing all of the time. My face was the first thing to change, and it really feels like everything else followed after that. My arms, my legs, my stomach. And something worth noting is that I still eat sugary foods. I still have all my favorite comfort foods too. Like I still enjoy like a good takeaway or just like rich meals in general. I still drink from time to time, you know, even ones that have a butt ton of sugar in them. But what I'm saying is I didn't become some kind of like ultra clean eating person all of a sudden. Sugar just isn't as prevalent in the stuff that I eat every day anymore. The other big difference was portion size. Meals here feel like a normal amount of food. I eat until my body feels satisfied instead of accidentally overeating food that just never really seemed to fill me up. And that's really the thing, isn't it? Food is just more nutritious here in Europe than it is in America. I could eat a meal using ingredients from America and not really feel totally full or satisfied, but I eat a standard meal here and I'm actually full. And I stay full. It's a very weird sensation if you haven't been through it yourself. Now, healthy food does exist in America. It's just that more than often you have to go out of your way to find it. And even more often than that, it's much more expensive than normal food. If you're average income, you buy average groceries. And the average affordable food that's available is usually heavily processed and made with convenience in mind, not really your overall health. All right, we've talked about food, so now let's talk about the second change, and probably the biggest one. Movement. On average, in America, your life is pretty much built around driving. You drive to get your groceries, to run your errands, to go to work, literally to do anything. You drive. And while that still may be true here in the UK for some places, a lot of the time you are in fact able to walk to the shop, to the train, to get home without even trying. Coming to the UK basically quadrupled my step count. Movement in general stopped being something that I had to schedule into my calendar. And walking's great exercise, let me tell you. I really truly began to start living differently because movement has just been unavoidable. Whereas before, it's completely optional. So if I have to say which did more for me, I would say that food really caused most of the weight loss and movement made sure that it stayed lost. And that pretty much brings us to today. I can't believe I'm saying it, but I'm within 10 pounds of my goal weight that I've been working towards for the last 6.5 years. It feels completely unreal to say that. This entire experience has completely shocked me. Nothing I ever did or tried in the US actually worked, or at least got close to the results I'm seeing now. For years, I would avoid certain clothes and photos being taken of me in social situations. As a Christmas gift, my girlfriend got me some pants and some shirts because she knows that I never buy clothes for myself. But she didn't just give me any shirt or pants. She got me shirts and pants that are quite a lot smaller than the size that I'm used to wearing. And the first time I put on one of the shirts that she gave me, I looked in the mirror and all I could do was cry. I finally saw somebody that I thought truly reflected me for the first time in years. And seeing that happen just filled me with this weird, indescribable joy. It felt like getting a version of myself back. Living in the UK didn't just magically give me discipline. Everything around me changed. Better portions, less sugar, less toxins in my food overall, a lot more walking and exercise, more balance. And that's really what it is at the end of the day, isn't it? America makes healthy choices inconvenient, but here, healthy choices just happen naturally. And when my environment changed, my body followed. Living here removed obstacles for me that I didn't even know were there. This whole thing still just amazes me. I wasn't chasing weight loss. I just changed my entire life and my weight loss efforts became a lot easier. It didn't just change where I live, it changed how I live. And in a very real way, it saved me. There's actually a whole lot more on this topic that I want to say, and just a whole lot more experiences that I want to share with you. I'm still learning to script well and make videos here on YouTube that you guys actually want to watch. But I think I'm going to end this one here. Thank you so much for watching. And thank you also for watching my last video about things I do differently now that I have been living here in the UK. You can check that one out here. That video did unusually well. I think it's because you guys were sending hype points to the video, which I didn't know you could do. So thank you. If you'd like to hype this video as well, that'd be kind of hype. I'm going to try to get out one video a week. Maybe not on the same day every week, but at least a video a week. I still don't know what they'll all be about, but I hope to do more than just be a floating head here talking with string lights in the background. Don't forget to like the video if you liked it, and subscribe so you can see more of my beautiful face. Take care, be well, and I'll see you in the next one. I'm feeling more British already.